It's always been Australia's main hunting ground for medals at any Olympic Games, and the Aquatic Centre will again be the focus of attention in the first week of competition. There's a new crop of swimmers who've burst onto the scene, headed by James Magnussen, a red-hot favourite in the blue ribbon 100 metres freestyle. He'll also join the men's 4x100 relay team, who'll enter as favourites. In the women's individual medley, Alicia Coots and Stephanie Rice could finish 1-2.
Australia's swimming team's really interesting. They're halfway through generational change, I think. I don't think that's going to play that well for them because their medal haul traditionally underpins Australia's performance. On world times out of 2011, they were favoured to only win 2 gold medals, which would be a serious step down. And I think what we saw at the Olympic trials was good racing, but not necessarily gold medal prospects.
After some lean years, there are once again some real prospects in track and field. Athletics Australia is aiming for 6 medals and banking on gold for Sally Pearson. She's been unbeatable since her surprise silver medal in Beijing and will line up with the weight of expectation on her shoulders in the 100 hurdles.
It looks as if Wells is going to get second. Pearson got it.
Much of Australia's strength is in the field events. Steve Hooker has struggled with injury and form in the lead-up to the Games, but a repeat of his gold medal pole vault performance in Beijing can't be ruled out. Discus thrower Danny Samuels and long jumpers Mitchell Watt and Fabrice Lapierre will also be worth watching. Much has been made of the rivalry between Great Britain and Australia on the medal tally. The winner of that battle could well be decided in the velodrome. In recent times, the Brits have reigned supreme, dominating at Beijing and nearly every meet since. But at the World Championships in Melbourne just a few weeks ago, the Australians proved they might be peaking at just the right time. Anna Meares remains Australia's best gold medal chance, and she'll ride in the sprint and Kieran, as well as partnering Carly McCulloch in the team sprint.
We just had the World Track Championships in Melbourne, which were a head-to-head Great Britain versus Australia. I'm looking forward to it under the roof at the Velodrome in London. The Poms think they'll beat us. We think we'll beat them. It'll be like the Ashes on wheels.
Australia is likely to field a boat in every classification of the rowing competition, and a number of them will have a strong claim to gold.
The men's quad scull won the World Championship last year, albeit with the German crew catching a crab right on the finish line. But gee, the men's quad, a very good chance, as are the men's lightweight 4 with the evergreen Anthony Edwards in their crew. And this crew has been going for a while now. It's very stable. They're 2 crews that I'm looking forward to.
If Drew Ginn can win another gold in the men's 4, it will be his 4th gold medal at his 4th Olympics. Ken Wallace surprised everyone in Beijing when he won gold in the men's K1 500. He'll be back on the water in London, but isn't Australia's only hope.
This time around, you've got a couple of paddlers by the name of Alana Nichols and Murray Stewart. Murray Stewart has dominated canoe kayaking in Australia, flat water, for the last year or so. He'll paddle with Ken Wallace in the K2. And then you've got Alana Nichols from Perth, who's been one of the outstanding paddlers in women's kayaking in Australia over the last year. Then you've got somebody like Naomi Flood, who's the world Ironman champion from 2009, making her Olympic debut. So there's plenty to look forward to with Australian rowing and canoe kayaking teams.
When the tide rolls in at Weymouth on England's south coast, it could bring a swag of gold medals for Australia's sailors. There's every expectation that the sport might prove Australia's most successful at these games.
Sailing, they're expected to go very well because they've got a number of world champions.
Look out for Tom Slingsby in the lasers, as well as Malcolm Page and Matthew Belcher in the 470s, and Nathan Outeridge and Ian Jensen in the 49ers, who are all hopes for gold. But the winds can be fickle in sailing, and the home ground advantage on the sea plays like no other. Matthew Mitchum surprised everyone with gold in 2008. He scored a perfect 10 at the recent trials in Adelaide, but as ever there will be strong competition from the Chinese, and local Brit Tom Daly will have the home crowd behind him. There are strong chances too in the women's 10-metre synchro. Australia has 5 world-class divers competing for just 2 spots on the team. In the last few years, the Kookaburras have won the World Cup, Champions Trophy and Commonwealth Games gold medals. They're the world's #1 ranked hockey team. After a disappointing bronze in Beijing, they're expected to fight it out with Germany and the Netherlands in the final rounds in London. In 2010, WA's Lauren Mitchell became the first Australian to win a world championship in gymnastics. She'll be looking for individual gold on the floor and beam, and the chance to be the first Australian to bring home a medal of any colour in the traditional gymnastic disciplines. Australia's no longer the dominant nation in triathlon, but could still win gold with several leading contenders in the women's event. Erin Densham still needs to seal her spot on the team, but has been the former triathlete of 2012. Two-time world champion Emma Moffat can't be overlooked, and Emma Snowsill will be tough to beat if she's selected to defend her Beijing Olympic gold. Australia hasn't won a medal at beach volleyball since the Sydney Olympics. Natalie Cook was part of the duo that achieved that success, and even just making the team this year will be a significant moment.
Should Natalie Cook qualify for her 5th Olympics, she'll become our most successful female summer Olympian, and so what an amazing achievement.
But turning that historic milestone into a medal could prove tough when the sand's laid out on the doorstep of number 10 in July. Traditionally, shooting's been a successful sport for Australia. An experienced team will head to London, including former gold medalists Michael Diamond and Susie Balog. Australia has never won gold in boxing and no medal at all in the sport since silver in Seoul back in 1988. This year, a number of young boxers have risen through the ranks, including light heavyweight Damien Hooper. Hooper's ranked number 2 in the world, and in the volatile sport of boxing, anything is possible. London will also be the first time women will be able to compete in the boxing ring. It's the only new event on the schedule in 2012. All up, most pundits have Australia winning anywhere between 9 and 17 gold medals. No doubt there'll be some disappointments, but a few nice surprises too.